Hi, my name is Ken Spidle. I'm here with my partner Jill Jacobs, and we are starting Brunswick Montessori starting September 2017. Right now it's March, so we're a little ways away from that, and we wanted to just share some information with you that we thought would be helpful. Maria Montessori was very forward-thinking back in her day, and she strongly believed through her studies that children are intrinsically motivated and, in addition to that, intuitively know what works are important for them to be doing. And in my 13 years in the classroom, I saw that idea reinforced time and time again. Children would come in and actually make choices to develop their skills where I saw a need to do that. And it was fabulous because I didn't have to actually guide them to the work frequently. They would just choose the right work for themselves. And when they make the choice themselves, then they really own the work. And that's just a beautiful thing, because that's when they really can enjoy learning.
I'm really excited about working with Ken and opening our Montessori school. I'm the mom of a 24-year-old daughter who I homeschooled, and Montessori philosophy is a lot like how I homeschooled my daughter. It's a child-directed learning. When a child is interested in something, you can facilitate some more learning. We have lots of materials for them to explore. We bought a farmhouse, an 1861 farmhouse that we're able to utilize and have some very unique classroom space. And we'll have a playground, but also gardening projects so the children can participate in that, and eventually trails through the woods to explore.
So work like this is just very simple and straightforward, and for a 2.5-year-old or 3-year-old, and sometimes maybe even 4-year-olds, this can be a great work because they're just enjoying doing something that they can successfully do, and some of them may actually find it challenging to squeeze these, and it's actually good exercise for their pincer grip. So one of the more intricate and advanced practical life works that we came up with is grinding salt. It's rock salt, and it can be ground into a finer salt that can come through a standard salt shaker. And one of the important things to remember when you're presenting a work like this as a Montessori teacher is you wouldn't want to talk. You're actually just helping the child focus on what they're doing. The intricacy and having to hold something and then maneuver the spoon in it. So then they can test it out, and if it doesn't seem like it's ground enough for them, they can do some more grinding work. And that's another important thing. It's good to allow the children a lot of latitude when they're doing things. So when you give them a lesson, the way they do it the first couple of times may be very different than the lesson you've presented. And it's important to allow them the process of discovering the material and seeing for themselves what works and what doesn't work. So our color tablets start out with our 3 primary colors, and this would be their first lesson. And then it moves into color matching. And then the last more challenging work would be color grading. The children are really interested in reading frequently at as young as 2 years old. And we have had 2-year-olds who start reading before they're turning 3 if they start with us early. And we don't push them or ask them to do the work. It's more just a choice that they have. And we've had children actually ask for a sound lesson every day. And what we do is we provide them with really great materials to be learning. So the child's tracing the sandpaper letter while they're saying pa, pa. While the teacher is going through the sound lesson with the student, they're actually making the child's own personalized sound book. The fabulous thing about the sound book is when they're done with the lesson, they have their 3 sounds with a picture representing each sound that they've chosen. And it's a way for them to feel excited about the sound lesson because they get to walk away with a book that they've essentially made with the teacher, and they can show it to mom and dad and show it to friends and grandparents, cousins, aunts and uncles, and it's all a great opportunity for them to reinforce what they learned in their sound lesson. And then there's a lot of different math work, and the math work is, the beginning math work is really about teaching them quantity and symbol, and this is one of the really great first math lessons.
It can be used in identifying numbers. It also can eventually be used to add. 3 plus 2 is 5.
What's important is to not worry about the mistakes. Mistakes are how we learn. And that's a key element to Maria Montessori's philosophy, which is mistakes are a good thing. And if you're not making mistakes, you can't really be learning. We have units, tens, hundreds or squares of 100, and a cube or 1,000. And this is a very concrete way to present quantity and symbol. And what's fabulous about this is while I was going for my elementary training, one of the teachers who had been teaching since her child was born said she has a 25-year-old son who can do huge mathematical operations in his head. And he actually told his mom when she asked, "How do you do those numbers in your head?" He said, "I visualized the gold beads and I moved them around."
I would like to point out that the shelving that is here is custom made by Ken. He's too modest to talk about it. It's at child height, and we have a bit of materials on them at this point, which is very exciting. I like to sit in here and play with the materials myself. So when we have friends who come and play, it's really exciting to see what they gravitate to. And then in the second room, this is our second classroom at Brunswick Montessori, we have the beginning of our library. We have our cabinets. This is our shape cabinet. And then we have over here our botany cabinet. And Maria Montessori, she likes to use the proper names of things. For instance, the shape of a leaf. This is linear, elliptical. So these are some sciences we have, the life cycles of insects. And again, Ken made the shelving at the height for children so that they could see the materials that they have to choose from. Some geography, And then back here we have our math. During the year we'll feature a different artist every month and create lessons around that and things for children to create their own art. This is our beginning of our library. We'll read to them during nap time. Some children will sleep, some will listen to the story, but all will be resting on their mat.
A critical aspect of classroom dynamics is making sure that each child is respectful of the other and respectful not only of their space but also of their emotions, and we can all affect one another in positive ways, and it's important for us as teachers to really share with the children how to be respectful of one another, and that's something we'll be modeling on a daily basis.
I think it's important that we are working with the families of the children in our school, that we work together as a unit.
Yeah, it's a really important component to the child's experience. The school and the teachers in the school need to be supporting what you, the parents, are doing at home with your student. And it's very helpful for us to have continuous communication over what your children are learning so that you can be in tune with opportunities at home to reinforce the positive things we're doing, and we need to at the same time understand what you're doing at home so we can reinforce things that are important to you. Because a school shouldn't be just focused on education alone, because when you get down to it, everything is a part of their education. Your students, your children are going to be learning how to work with other students, how to work independently. They're going to be learning important social skills that are going to affect them for their entire lifetime. Maria Montessori recognized 0 to 6 years old is the most critical time of a human being's learning, because they're actually learning how to learn.